Just digging around doing nothing?
I wouldn't say digging around doing nothing.
I would.
Okay.
You know you guys have a restraining order against me. You're supposed to stay 100 yards away from me. I'm staying here. This is technically my place of residence right now, so why don't you get the fuck out of here? Oh, that's crazy.
Yep.
A restraining order against a private citizen.
That's what it says.
That's crazy. I'll take those. That's what I came for.
Perfect.
Nothing I heard about that. All right, beautiful. What's her name and badge number?
Carney 242. We talked the other day, man. You know who I am.
Can I get identification from you?
Deputy Carney, Placer County Sheriff's Office, badge
Placer
number
County
242.
Sheriff's Office. What do we have here, if you don't mind me asking?
This is a restraining order. You need something, sir?
I need you to fuck off. Did you get a call here?
No, I didn't.
You just driving around doing whatever you want, wasting time, wasting tax dollars?
That's how you see it.
Why'd you pull into the complex, drive to pull out, and then come pull back in? Just digging around doing nothing?
I wouldn't say digging around doing nothing.
I would.
Okay.
You know you guys have a restraining order against me. You're supposed to stay 100 yards away from me. I'm staying here. This is technically my place of residence right now, so why don't you get the fuck out of here? Because you're violating your restraining order right now.
Actually, no.
Actually, yes.
All right, mister. You have a good day.
Mr. What? Mr.
Yep.
Who's Mr.? Do you know how to pronounce, you dumb f? Sorry to interrupt. Worthless ass clown. How you doing? All right. What do we have here, if you don't mind me asking?
This is a restraining order.
Restraining for who?
You.
I mean, who's the other party?
Placer County Sheriff's Office.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yep.
A restraining order against a private citizen.
That's what it says.
That's crazy. I'll take those. That's what I came for.
Perfect.
Nothing I heard about that. All right, beautiful.
So I'll give you a second to read that, but it does state that you can't be on our property, so I do need you to leave when you're done, okay?
So like I said in my last video, my first visit to the Placer County Sheriff's Office was on April 5th when that deputy came out and got in my face. My second visit was 2 days later on April 7th when I went back there to file a record request so that I could get the deputy's name so that I could file a formal complaint on him. The very next day, on April 8th, I left town and traveled over 500 miles away to another city so that I could continue working. I had no plans of returning to Auburn. I had no plans of returning to the Placer County Sheriff's Office. Placer County Sheriff's Office knew that I didn't live in that town. They knew that I had left town because they sent a detective to a family member's house well over 200 miles away looking for me to try to serve me with a restraining order. So they knew that I wasn't in town anymore. They knew that I didn't live there. They also knew that I have a YouTube channel where I just film the police. So I mean, the whole thing makes no sense. So like I said, my last visit to the Placer County Sheriff's Office was on April 7th. The very next day, I left town with no plans of returning. On April 13th, the Placer County Sheriff's Office files a restraining order against me, knowing that I didn't live there, knowing that I was out of town, knowing that I have a YouTube channel where I just film the police. And so I didn't even know there was a restraining order against me for maybe another week after that. Now, mind you, I could have just not returned to Auburn and never had to deal with it again. I willfully went back to Auburn, paid a lot of money to stay in hotels just so I could go back and get served with those restraining order papers so I could have my day in court because I knew I did nothing wrong. So over a whole month since my last visit to the Placer County Sheriff's Office, I finally returned on May 11th and asked them for the restraining order papers. I went there to ask them for it. 2 days after that, the same deputy that served me with the restraining order papers pulls into the parking lot at my hotel, waves at me and smiles, and then he drives back out of the parking lot. I then pulled my camera out and started walking towards the front of the parking lot, and that's when I see him driving back in. So he pulled into the parking lot, he seen me, drove out, and then he pulled back in. And that's where you see me confront him at. What's her name and badge number?
Carney 242. We talked the other day, man. You know who I am.